Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, we've got Papa Pixelid playing the Tier 7 Royal Navy destroyer Jervis. This is a tech tree destroyer, which is, I think, a very fun ship to play. Of course, I'm kind of partial to destroyers, as those of you who have been with me for a while are probably well aware. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about the particulars of this game beyond the general, he had a good game that I'm aware of. This map is, well, especially spawning this side, I think pretty good for destroyers. There's no radar threat here. Matchmaking is really, really good. You've got some 7s, 6s, and 5s, which makes Papa Pixelit's Jervis a top-tier destroyer, which is just excellent. The only other destroyers, that he has to contend with are the Mahan and the Nicholas, and you can see he's got an excellent detection radius, 5.4 kilometer detection. So he outspots both of those, and if he's careful, can really minimize the amount of time that he can be seen by the red ships for them to even shoot at him. In terms of a cruiser threat, Helena, of course, big threat, just because it has so many guns and such a quick reload. Keechdwin, or however you pronounce that. Well, airstrike, the guns on those Dutch cruisers not too hot. Hawkins, very hard-hitting AG, but kind of a slow reload. Königsberg, that's a legitimate threat if you get spotted. Königsberg has a pretty decent reload. It's very accurate, and it puts out a lot of shells. But in turn, Königsberg is basically just one giant floating citadel. So if any of the friendly battleships get an opportunity to put shells on Königsberg, they will almost always prioritize that ahead of anything else if they know what they're doing. Now, Jervis. What can I tell you about Jervis? Well, the guns are 120s, as you might expect, on a Royal Navy destroyer. You've got 3 turrets, 2 barrels in each turret, total of 6 guns. The reload is a base 5 seconds, and of course that can be sped up in various ways depending upon how you configure the ship. For example, you take, and I almost always do on destroyers, a particular commander skill that as you take damage will cause it to speed up. So you might see that. The range, well, you can see it's about 11 kilometer base range on the guns. And HE shells do a maximum of 1700 damage with an 8% fire chance. AP shells can do a maximum of 2100 damage. Torpedoes, well, you've got 10 torpedoes and you can single fire them, which is really nice. And you can see he's got that. This is actually the widespread on a Royal Navy destroyer. So he opts to kind of put them out in groups, but you can single fire them, which can be really devastating. For example, if you get a battleship that's sitting at the edge of an island, he's kind of nose in, and he says, well, I'll just sit here or I'll reverse. You can just put one right after the other, right into the nose of your ship. Okay, so the 10 torpedoes have a maximum damage of 15,733 each. They run at 59 knots, and they've got a range of 7 kilometers. So those are your weapon systems. The AA, well, it's negligible, like you might expect. And the KGV looks like he's getting some torpedoes. Nicely done there, Papa. Maneuverability, well, the Royal Navy destroyer line, they're kind of known for excellent acceleration and handling in general. So much so that they don't put a speed boost on these things because they already just kind of standard accelerate really well right out of the gate. Now, unfortunately, no one else had that battleship spotted. So as soon as Papa smoked up, that battleship went dark. Now, maybe that battleship must have fired. You can see he's detected now. So this would be an opportunity to get some fire started on that battleship, but it looks like Papa's going to stick with the Mahan. Papa lights up the hydro, just in case Mahan decides to throw torpedoes this way. A little behind him, changes his aiming point there. And Mahan's guns are aimed the other way, so not much threat there from Mahan. He does get a fire started on him, and that looks like it's continuing to burn. Nope, Mahan put it out. Königsberg's got shots on him, but now he's behind the island, so he's safe for now. And looks like Mahan might be dead. Yeah, he just put himself in the middle of, well, 4 friendlies, and there just really wasn't any way for Mahan to survive that. Now, the hydroacoustic search on this ship is, well, it doesn't have much in the way of, range, but as you can see, it lasts a long time. Still got 2 minutes left on this hydro. So for personal protection, absolutely awesome. Now, Congo's fairly fast as far as battleships go, especially at the tier. But I don't know whether he's going to be able to outmaneuver those torpedoes. Looks like a really nice spread. Now, the pros of the ship in general, according to the WoW's wiki: good guns, fast firing, decent range, a lot of torpedoes, excellent firing arcs forward, great concealment, decent maneuverability, decent top speed, great turning radius, decent rudder shift. And Congo did. He accelerated and turned. Got the heck out of the way. And smoke. And the smoke, while it doesn't last all that long, you get a whole bunch of them, and the reload on them is excellent. And then, of course, the hydro that we talked about. Cons, well, individual torpedoes, not great. I think they're good, but not great. Smoke duration is short, which, it doesn't really matter. In the current meta with CVs in so many games, which fortunately for our hero, not in this game, it's really nice to have these smokes that are just long enough to convince the CV captain to find another target. Anti-aircraft, negligible, but that's typical of not only destroyers, but in this meta, almost every other ship in the game. Main battery shells are slow and they lack pen, but against destroyers, they can be very effective. And no engine boost, which I think you really don't need. Now, granted, the ship is not all that fast, but if you're careful with your positioning and you don't push into a destroyer that, for example, can chase after you and keep you spotted while outgunning you, you're generally going to be fine. Now, it looks to me like Papa is looking for a way to torpedo this Keech twin. But we'll see. Nice start in reverse. He's going to smoke up. I'm hoping he's not the only one with eyes on Congo. Nope, he's not. And maybe he can get it burning. Smoke screen set. The threat here, being this close, of course, is airstrike. Getting some fires going on that Congo. Meanwhile, the enemy Bayern takes out the friendly KGB. And that cruiser is going to be throwing it in reverse, trying to get the heck out of there. And Papa says, no, I'm not going to sit here and wait for the planes. Smoke was almost up, so he just backs right off. Maybe that cruiser will decide he doesn't have to hurry. Well, we'll see. Oh, yeah, that looks pretty darn good. I think we're going to land at least 1, maybe 2 here. Possibly 3, but more than likely 2. Yeah, 2. Nope, there it is. All right, so that's the first kill as we sit just shy of 83,000 damage. And Papa has done a really good job on his side. Now on the other side, there's no destroyer. We don't have a friendly destroyer on the other side of the map. Both of them are this side. Nicholas is pushed up close. Friendly Kunik takes out the enemy Sinop. Now just looking at the minimap, the enemy Nicholas is on the other side of the map, or was the last time it was seen. But it's really difficult for a Nicholas to push in close to 2 battleships, because those 2 battleships, individually, they might not be able to finish him off before he gets close enough to use his torpedoes. But the 2 of them together, they probably can. Seeing the Britann's guns pointed the other way, Papa decides to get some fires going. Starts a fire and says, okay, that's enough of that. He'll just go dark now. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3 decelerates. Maybe people will shoot out ahead of him. And now he's gone dark. New Orleans might have been targeting him, but can't now. Pretend might have been targeting him, but can't now. Torpedoes are back up. Fire continues to burn, adding to the damage total. Now, look at the big picture. Good guys are down 4 ships, bad guys are down 5 ships. Both teams still have a destroyer, but of the two, the edge definitely goes to the good guys and Papa in this Jervis. Torpedoes have a longer range, guns are arguably better. Bertin's going to turn around. I think he's going to be able to get away from all those torpedoes, but we'll see. Not quite enough range to be able to get there. So, taking a look at the mini-map, there's really no threat center. Congo and KGV are both kind of falling away from the battle line. Königsberg and New Orleans, well, they're kind of pushing this side a little. Well, Königsberg is pushing this side a little, which is suicidal. New Orleans is the more tanky of the two cruisers, and he's posted up behind an island. And it doesn't really look like he can put his his guns in the fight at all. There's a real opportunity here for Papa to move up, even into well, you can see where he's aiming. He could push in that direction, just to the side of the island that the Britann ran behind. He's got smoke available and hydro. Torpedoes are going to be back up in 42 seconds. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Now he may get an opportunity to put torpedoes on the Königsberg if Königsberg continues to push this way. Although, if he smokes and somebody else has kind of a Königsberg spotted, Königsberg will probably turn away, and that would open the door for some AP shots. Now, sticking with the HE. A little bit short. That's what I was talking about in another video. But a lot of float on those shells, but I think those are on target. That's probably going to do it for Königsberg, and down he goes. Emerald picks up the kill. Now where's the Britann? New Orleans gives it a shot, but a little bit off the mark. Now the Britann, he's gonna be able to get off one good volley here, and now the Britann is in big trouble. I think our hero is. I think I probably would have gone hard to port and put the torpedoes into this side of the Britann, but our hero is just going to go right at him and come around the other side. No way the Britann survives this. Nicely done. So that's kill number 2, 118,000 plus damage. And the bad guys are down to 5 ships. And this is looking like a mop-up operation at this point. So if you like destroyers but you haven't played this line at all, they are very fun. Ultimately ending up with the Daring at tier 10, which is, although I can't say that I've really kind of mastered the playstyle of the Daring, I really appreciate those that have. It has similar tools and even better, more effective for the tier, you know, torpedoes and such. If you like DDs and you haven't played the Royal Navy line, I recommend them. They're very fun. And that hydro, although it's not like German hydro where you can use it as often to, you know, move up and spot destroyers in their smoke and that kind of thing, it's very, very difficult for enemy destroyers to put torpedoes on you because the hydro lasts so long. You can see the friendly Texas sitting back there. Yeah, he's not really going to be able to do anything sitting back there. Occasionally you can get lucky, but the dispersion in Sigma on the Texas is just not great. And our hero decides it's time for a beach party. You know, he's showing you that half a dozen or so people that you know, brought the ice chest and hot dogs in the grill, and they're going to go get all that set up while he finishes up the match.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Congo's about to get sunk. It's going to be any second now. One more volley from Emerald. Yeah, Fiji picked him up. And the good guys have a commanding lead, almost double what the bad guys have in terms of points. And are really just kind of corralling the bad guys at this point. Atlanta pointing out that he doesn't have a whole lot left in the way of HP. He's been over there presumably helping with the Nicholas. But you can see the bad guys are in the friendly cap. Looks like the Fiji's aware of that. Nobody, at least that I've seen, has commented on that in the chat channel, but Fiji is headed that way. It looks like at full steam. I think Atlanta means we'll spot. I'm guessing that DD is probably, if he's smart, at Henry 9, H9, right? I mean, that's the best position to be. You can run behind that island just north of there if you needed to. Fiji's got his hydro active. Meanwhile, our hero continues to hunt. Wasn't really any way for him to get back there in time, so he's just playing the game. Fiji's going to get there in time. Atlanta looks like he's aware of that and just positioning himself to be able to get all his guns on the DD once it's detected. The only real threat here is if the Nicholas managed to put torpedoes in the face of the Fiji, but nope, he's on the run. I'm guessing he ran around that island. He's probably going to make a run for the Texas. Fiji's aware of that, and looks like he's turning to cut that potential off. Getting pretty close to the New Orleans here, as well as pretty close to the Bayern. Kind of sitting in the middle of them now. There's the potential for blind fire damage sitting here. I might have gone with AP here, but HE is going to do the damage anyway. And as New Orleans angles in, HE will be more effective. And you can see that the threat at the cap has been removed. Time to fire up the hydro to spot that New Orleans as he gets closer. Hopefully he will get detected very soon. And our hero says, to heck with waiting. I'm going to try and get torpedoes on the Bayern right now. And he does. Takes some damage from New Orleans. Bayern secondaries have opened up. We're only 17 seconds from more smoke. And our hero, yeah, he put himself in harm's way getting right in the middle of these three ships. But, yeah, that's all right. This game really is all over but the shouting anyway. Smoke's back up, but he opts to keep the guns working. Picks up the Confederate, nicely done. Can't believe he's still alive. Look at that, 54 HP. Is he going to get the ram on the New Orleans? Oh, so close. If he'd gone for the nose, he might have done it. But that was really close. KGV goes down to torpedoes from the Emerald, and this one's in the record books. Great game, man. That was fun to watch. 128,000 damage, 7 torpedo hits, 5 floods, 5 detections, 126 shells on targets, 2 incapacitations, started 8 fires, and sunk 2 enemy ships. Those of you joining me, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. It was very fun to watch. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks again. and I'll see you next time.